Hello, my name is Myra. Welcome back to another video. So as you guys can see, my Christmas decor is officially put away. So I now am back to my regular background. I do eventually want to move my background as like my bookshelves displayed behind me, but full disclosure, I do not have any more space in my singular big bookshelf that I have. So I do have to buy another one and then arrange all my books, make it nice and neat, and then finally have that background that will hopefully be the main background moving forward. But for now, we are back to our regular scheduled programming. Anyway, for today's video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about some of the books that are releasing in February that I am very much excited to read. I don't know that I'll read them all this month, but I do know that these are ones that caught my attention and that I've been looking forward to for a while now. So I do have some that are a little bit more priority, and then I have some that are honorable mentions, meaning I just found out about them recently, and I know I'm gonna find out about way more when people start posting their February 2026 like TBR and books that are releasing. But these are the ones that are on my radar, and hopefully you discover some that you can put on your TBR as well. So first things first, the very first book that I have on here is Carnaval Fantástico by Angela Montoya. This is releasing on February 3rd, and this is about a young woman who is posing as a fortune teller at a magical traveling carnival, where the handsome boy who once broke her heart resurfaces and warns her that the carnival is more sinister than it appears. Based on the blurb, it's like our MMC. He is pretty much trying to get revenge on his dad. I believe his dad is the one that's actually running this carnival, except when he gets there, he finds out that this girl who he clearly has a past with is there as like a fortune teller, but she's giving out fake fortunes. And so I think he's trying to protect her, but also trying to be like, you need to be careful because this is not what you think that it is. And I think they kind of form an alliance to bring his dad down while also trying to not, I guess, be victims of this carnival. That's kind of what I'm gathering from it, but it looks like it's gonna be such a fun book. I have read two other books by Angela Montoya, Cruel Thirst and Sinister's Isle. I'm forgetting, but I freaking loved both of those books. So far, 2 out of 2, really good. This is her third book releasing, and I cannot wait to read it. 3 honorable mentions that are also releasing on February 3rd. The first one is Songbird of the Sorrows by Brady Otto. It looks like this book had actually released prior, like back in 2024, but it got traditionally, it got picked up by a publisher, so now it's getting traditionally published. This is supposed to be a high fantasy book, which I don't really think that I've read a lot of high fantasy, and if I did, it was like a long time ago. So I'm excited for this one. The blurb for it just says it's an outcast princess turned spy who embarks on a mission to infiltrate a rival kingdom, but the secrets she uncovers force her to decide whether to follow orders or defy them, which I feel like given the state of the world, it's kind of fitting, because sometimes you might get assigned to something and then it turns out that it's not what you think that it is. So this one, again, the blurb just says, ask no questions, obey your orders, respect your masters, but most of all, love no one. By Thief, Princess, Songbird. It just sounds really, really good. It's the first book in the Myths of the Imperios series, so I guess this is going to be a series, or is it a trilogy? No, it says it's a series. So it first came out in 2024. It's now releasing on February 3rd. My next honorable mention is totally different from that one, and that is How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. This is also releasing on February 3rd, and this is a humorous, swoony, and downright terrifying horror romance, which I can honestly say I've never read a horror romance, because I don't think Bryn Weaver is horror. I feel like that's more like dark romance with like serial killer. I don't know. I don't really see it as horror. But yes, this is a terrifying horror romance in which a young woman gets caught in the middle of a murder spree at a speed dating event and must use her encyclopedic knowledge of the horror genre to make it as a real life final girl. This just sounds so different, so unique. So I don't know, it's literally horror, romance, thriller, mystery. And it's supposed to be for fans of Love in the Time of Serial Killers, Butcher and Blackbird, How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates in one story. So again, I mean, it sounds kind of interesting, and I never did speed dating. It sounds rough. Like, I'm sure maybe for like really outgoing like people, like it's fine, but as somebody that can be like introvert, like, you know, kind of very like social but also very introverted, that kind of sounds like a nightmare. Like speed dating, having to like talk on the spot. And it's like, the way that I've seen it on TV, it's like sometimes there's people that are like lined up and then you're just moving from chair to chair, like they can hear your conversation. I don't know, but it sounds really fun and different. My last honorable mention that is also releasing on February 3rd is A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon J. Spann. This one is a fantasy young adult romance. So it is young adult. And it says, the gods are dead, all that's left are the players. The performers of the playhouse are as worshipped as they are feared. Their enchanting shows, bending hearts, minds, and even reality itself. Vicious, godlike, lethal. 18-year-old Riven? I think it's Riven. Hesper knows the dangers better than anyone after her own encounter with the player resulted in a curse that is slowly killing her. So it's supposed to be some sort of like games, high stakes, again, young adult fantasy. And it does say here, Caraval meets One Dark Window in this lush and dark fantasy. I have not read either book. I've heard really, really great things about One Dark Window. So it looks like this one would be like a really good fit, but also this cover looks really cool. So I don't know. Moving on to February 10th. February 10th, I actually have the physical book, and I've talked about it before, but it is Heir of Illusion by Madeline Taylor. This had also released previously, and it got picked up by a traditional publisher, and it is now coming out on February 10th. Already with the ratings that it had before it was picked up, it's rated like a 4 point something, I forgot exactly, on Goodreads, which I never go based off of ratings, but clearly this book is very, very highly loved. A big thing that stood out for me about this book is that she is not the pet they tamed, she is the beast they let inside. The author herself at SemiLitCon said that that is one of her favorite lines, and that is a line that she'll pitch to people when she's talking about her book. She'll just say that line. I do see that this is supposed to be a dark romantasy, a fey assassin with the power of illusion that is sworn to a king that she despises, which sounds great. An enigmatic Grim Reaper searching for freedom, enemies collide in an unlikely alliance brimming with desire and destruction. So it sounds really, really good. And I've shared the artwork before for this book, which I was lucky enough to also get at SemiLitCon. But I mean, it looks like he's gonna have some sort of like shadow magic. If you see this picture here, but like, I want to make myself this dress. Yeah, I don't know. And then I have some other artwork here that I've shared before. It looks like it's gonna be a really, really good book. So I am very, very excited to read it. I've had it since I went to SemiLitCon, but I wanted to read it closer to its release. And again, this is coming out February 10th. So this is definitely the next physical book that I will pick up once I'm done with the 2 physical ones that I'm in the middle of reading now. Because I definitely want to read this before it comes out. Next, coming out on February 17th, I actually also have that arc, and that is The Experimento by Maria J. Murillo. So this book actually is about a woman who enlists the help of her favorite musician to win her ex-boyfriend back, which again sounds very different. She basically somehow ends up, so she's 20, our heroine, she's 27, she has her life mapped out, she's been with her boyfriend for a long time, and she's expecting him to propose at any time. And then she ends up losing both her boyfriend and her job on the same day. And she somehow ends up becoming the assistant, or like, I think it's assistant basically, of this singer, and they somehow end up forming this partnership where she's gonna help him with something, and in exchange he's gonna help her get her ex-boyfriend back. We don't know why they broke up. I'm pretty sure maybe it's in this book, but it just sounds really, really good. And it's a pretty short book. It's like around 310 pages, around there. So it just sounds good. It sounds fun. And imagine like partnering up with like your favorite artist to be like, help me get my ex back. I don't know, that just sounds really interesting. So we'll see. I have a feeling they're gonna like fall for each other, but yeah. I have one honorable mention that is coming out on the 17th, and that is Crown of War and Shadow by J.R. Ward. This is the first book in a series, and I think this author has like a bunch of other books as well. This is described as a romantasy. It is an adult fantasy book. There are some tropes on here about forced proximity, chosen mates, dark mercenary, who did this to you, touch her and I'll die for you, and hidden magic. And it just says that it's an outcast burdened with a curse and a mercenary who's out for himself. So they have to kind of form some sort of alliance is what I'm seeing here. And I love that. I love when people have to work together. They're strangers, they're forced to be together. I feel like it makes for so much, like some of like the best books is when they are reluctant to be partnered up, but they somehow have to. So it just sounds really, really good. And again, this is coming out on February 17th. Then we move on to a release coming out on February 24th, and that is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. I actually got tickets for a meet and greet with B.K. Borison where we're gonna get the copy of this new book and we get to take pictures with her. They're already gonna be pre-signed. She's not gonna be signing any books, unfortunately, but the chance that I get to meet her, I've read pretty much every book by her actually. I hadn't realized it, but I have read every single book that she's put out, obviously with the exception of this new one. So I just kind of want to meet her and be like, hey, I loved Love Light Farms, which is her other series. I loved First Time Caller, and then Now Back to You. This one sounds so good. This is supposed to be about two competing meteorologists who are forced to find common ground, and again, I love that. They're supposed to be opposites attract. When Harry Met Sally. I haven't watched that movie, so I wouldn't know, but it's Jackson and Delilah, and it looks like she's very type A, like oh no, wait, opposite. He is very type A. He likes routine, he likes organization, and Delilah is a little bit more like me, where she's a little bit more spontaneous, go with the flow. We'll see. And as someone that knows people that are very type A and people that are very spontaneous, I feel like I fall more on the spontaneous, but I'm not super like, I know people that are super on this side and people that are very much on this side. They could not be more opposite. They can definitely get along, but there's certain things where it's like there's a boundary, especially for type A people, where it's like, listen, no, you need to get it together, you need to be here at this time, like this is important. And that's where the really spontaneous people and like go with the flow people will try really hard, but it's really fun. Like as someone that's kind of more leaning one way but could be the other way, it's fun watching those interactions. So I feel like with this one, it'll kind of feel like that too. So, and it's a love story, so I feel like that's just gonna be really fun. Another book that is coming out on February 24th is Cleopatra by Sarah El Alrifi. This one, I love Cleopatra. I've dressed up as her for Halloween actually. I love her story. It's always been a story that has really like called to my attention, and it's a story that I remember in history classes while I was in school really captured my attention and my interest. And this one, the blurb has me, so I really hope that the book is good. But it says, you know my name, but you do not know me. Your historians call me seductress, but I was always in love's thrall. Your playwrights speak of my witchcraft, but I was gifted my talents by the gods. Your poets sing of my bloodlust, but I was protecting my children. They cannot credit that a mere woman could be powerful, strategic, divinely blessed to rule. Death will silence me no longer. This is not the story of how I died, but how I lived. I mean, if that doesn't capture your attention, I don't know what will. And also the cover is fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is definitely going to be a book that I buy. Coming out on the 24th or 25th, it's not 100% decided yet. You have Loved by the Gargoyle by Alira Anaya Saris. So this is a monster romance, but it's like a pen pal romance because you have this monster. He's a gargoyle. He escaped from kind of like the depths of like hell / purgatory, and he wants a wife. Like that's all he wants. He wants a wife. And in the first book, you get the kidnapping trope there. And in this one, now that the first or MMC from the first book kind of knows like, hey, this is probably not the best way to approach it because it just makes it 10 times harder. Our MMC in book number 2 is like, why don't I secretly start kind of being a pen pal, which is a little bit stalkerish because like she doesn't know him and he's leaving all these notes for her. But she starts to get mysterious, you know, letters from this man who is desperate to want to get to know her, and she is kind of replying, I think, with you know, to these letters, but she doesn't know that he's a, like, it's a monster, like he's a monster. Like she has no idea. He's a gargoyle. He turned, like, they're not the gargoyles that you think of when you think of gargoyle. Okay, I mean, look at this cover. Obviously it's not that type of gargoyle. So this is supposed to be a monster romance, and I love the first book. I love monster romances. I feel like they are so fun, but also they can be really, really deep. And they're just a really, really good time. So I love Jade Hernandez, aka Alida Anaya Ceres. I have to like remember her pen name because I just know her as like Jade Hernandez from her other books that she writes. But I'm really excited to read this book. I know it's gonna be a good time. I love all of her books. The first book was such a good time, and he was so adorable. He like just really wanted her to like him. So sometimes like those are just like the best books. Like it gets you in your feels and it's sweet, and they don't know. They're so confused. Like they don't even know what a kiss is. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's cute. It's adorable. And then lastly, I have one honorable mention, and that is The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. This is also coming out on February 24th. Now, I have not read When the Moon Hatched, and this is supposed to be the sequel to When the Moon Hatched. I should probably read that book. I have a special edition of the book. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that I haven't read it yet. I think I'll pick up the audiobook for the first book so that I could be ready for this second one. And I really, really hope that I will like it. All I know is there's Rave and Can, and it's a highly anticipated sequel. There's dragons and doomed lovers and magic based on what I'm reading here. But you know, I'm guessing obviously it's a sequel to the first book. So however the first book ended, that's where this one's gonna be. I didn't know it was already coming out. For some reason, I thought there was already a sequel. But the fact that it's just barely now coming out, I feel like it's kind of a good time to pick up the first book, see if I like it, and then hopefully I do and I can jump into this one. But anyway, these are all of the books that I have on my personal radar. I know I will be discovering so many more when people are posting both their TBRs and anticipated releases for February. But let me know if there's any that you think I would like, that you think that I should definitely put on my list to hopefully try to read in February, and if not, at some point this year. But thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you're gonna pick up any of the books that I mentioned here, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.